In the last part, we arrived at Srinagar, and from there, the next day, we visited the Shankaracharya temple, the Mughal gardens, we had Wazwa in a local restaurant, and finally ended the day with a short shikara ride on Dal Lake. Next morning, we started early for Sonmarg. En route, we came across the Hari Parbat fort built by the Mughals. With the hangover of the Shikara ride, we moved on along the beautiful valleys and soon came across the Sindh river. As we moved on, we came across the snow-capped mountains. We made our way through the valleys towards these snow-capped peaks. They gradually came closer and closer. As we approached the mountains, we again came closer to the Sindh river. We took a brief halt for a quick photo session. Finally, we came very close to the snow-capped peaks as we reached Sonmarg. The huge peak close to Sonmarg was Thajiwas Glacier, while the one at a little distance was 0 Point. To go to Thajiwas Glacier, we would need to hire a pony, whereas to go to 0 Point, one would need to hire a cab. The road to 0 Point is often closed, so it is difficult to estimate how long a round trip to 0 Point would actually take. Finally, we hired our ponies to Thajiwas Glacier. We also did hire gumboots because it would be easy to walk on the snow and the muddy terrain over there. The bright sunny weather gradually turned cloudy. Our ponies moved through the beautiful valleys as we could see the snow-capped mountains getting more and more closer. Ponies made their way through steep ups and downs, sometimes even climbing down steep edges. They even made their way through small mountain streams. We came across shooting locations of Bollywood films. The first was Elane Jung.
সিনেমা শুটিং হয়েছিল এখানে গিয়ে দেখতে হবে जाके देखना पड़ेगा
As our pony took turns through the hairpin bends, we could see our friends following us. The partial adventure ride, as it may be called, took us through picturesque valleys on both sides.
ঘুরে যাব এবার উল্টো দিকটা দেখা যাবে বাহ এবার আমাদের সহযাত্রীদের আস্তে আস্তে দেখা যাবে
We took a brief halt and let the others catch up.
নিজেরাই বিছিয়ে নিলাম।
As it got more cloudy, it also started to rain.
মেঘ এসে গেছে, ফোটা ফোটা বৃষ্টিও হচ্ছে।
And then we passed the shooting spot of the film Satte Pe Satta. And finally we came across the location of the famous blockbuster Bajrangi Bhaijaan. As we offboarded from the ponies, we made our way through the small wooden bridge towards the snow. We wanted to take a sledge ride. The sledge experience was not that great,
ট্রেকিং করে
partially because of the little amount of snow and partially because of a lot of crowd. Gradually it started to rain heavily and we returned to our base where we had some coffee before we started for our way back to Sonmarg. As we came back to Sonmarg, the climate had completely changed. The weather that we had seen in the morning, the blue skies, the white snows and the green valleys, had completely changed to a cloudy weather.
মাঝে দেখা যাচ্ছিল
This, however, had its own beauty.
সেই ব্যাপারটা
The pony ride from Sonmarg to Thajiwas Glacier is more than an hour. The pony ride and the gumboots cost us around 1500 INR per person. After a late lunch at Sonmarg, we returned to Srinagar, and that is how our eventful third day came to an end.